Good morning, YouTubes. Just a quickie to say hello. Hope everyone's day goes like it's supposed to. It's getting cooler and wet here. I've had just really odd weather. It's 85 one day and 70 degrees the next day. This is a very big microclimate area, so very localized stuff happens, and it's kind of odd sometimes to get used to. So, yeah, there's that weather. So, what's in the news? Our genius nuclear groups, 2 years after a huge radiological release in Europe of a known identified nuclear processing byproduct. Happened about 2 years ago. Large warnings in Europe. The cloud was mapped, kind of, because we do that stuff. We know how to do this from space, from satellites, from those things that don't exist to a third of our country, I think. So the collective we, that's everyone in my pocket, I suppose, saw that release. And it's tough. It takes about 2 years for the studies and the sciences to come out. And we can debate and talk about why, and if that's a stalling tactic to get the public to forget about what that incident means. And they'll go and they'll talk about just a single isotope, and that's all they'll talk about. No worries. And we had to remember it happened 2 years ago and nobody died from it. Well, probably 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 1,000 people could have died from that release. The science to prove is a secret. It's too expensive. You can't afford it. It's not worth spending the money. So somebody decided that, 100 or 1,000 people dying is an acceptable risk. So nuclear family knows there isn't much you can do about this. You have to go out and pick up the dirt and move it somewhere else. You have to go scrape stuff out of the atmosphere that never should have been there to begin with. And we don't do that. It costs too much money. We don't recycle much of anything. Big surprise that somebody found a windmill in a dump. We pay lip service to recycling. Federally, state, locally, because it's an expensive, costly process to recycle. It needs to be fit into life cycle economics for the planet, and not this one day at a time crap and thoughts and prayers that we're handed. I'm not sure how to fix this. I say vote. It's huge important. But the people to vote for just aren't there. We're giving shills. We're giving talking heads. We're giving people to choose from that. Look at the Democratic primary. Look at the Republican primary where Trump won against all those men of God. Every one of those people behind Trump was selling a god. None of the personal gods won. The Trump God won. The Trump of fear, the Trump of avarice, of ego, of wealth, of born privilege. We tried a long time ago not to make kings and to put kings in their place. And we didn't do a very good job of it. I think someone's God wants most of us dead. Shh, don't tell anybody.